really proud of the effort to fight back into that contest, particularly leading into Sunday?
It's nice to throw that spin on it, but to be truthful, I feel embarrassed, and I'm sure the team does. You know, we year two did this last year, came back, won in Perth, came back here, laid an egg, work all year to get a crowd like this, get the town behind us, and it's not losing the game, it's how we played. And the second half was rat ball, just, you know, trying to get back into a game where you're 30 whatever, I don't know what it was at halftime. We were just totally out of it. So it was, you know, they didn't quit. And it is a series, but as far as the performance tonight and what we wanted to do coming into the game and how we played the game, very, very, very disappointing.
What do you put that down to? Was it just a lack of intensity to start the game that just allowed the Kings to get that break, or was it the fact that Jalen Adams was back in that Kings lineup and you didn't quite adjust as much as well as you would have liked?
Well, I think we had three keys defensively, and you know, we just they hurt us on the glass, they hurt us on transition, they hurt us on dribble penetration on the open floor, picking up the ball, rebounding. They just blew it out, and you know, I don't want to bit it team thing. You know, we won 3 quarters, went to the bench a bit in the second quarter, and they blew it out. And you know, I'm finger pointing to everybody, staff. It wasn't just the starters; it was the guys coming off the bench. We brought them in, and we elected not to go back there the rest of the game. We couldn't. You know, it blew from a 5-point game when you go and rest somebody to 20-some. And again, yeah, I'm not individually pointing a finger, but the whole thing. Again, for me personally, 2 years. Last year was disappointing. We had a chance to go to the final. This year, to get that attendance here and get the whole town talking about it and play like we did. Effort things. The shots not going in, whatever that is what it is. But just they worked harder on the defensive end. They ran up and down the floor harder. They hit the glass harder. But again, this is a series, and we'll find out more about this whole thing when we get to Sydney.
And from a player's perspective, what was the feeling like out there? You had this bumper crowd really spurring you on. What did you put it down to?
It's a lot of that in the second quarter felt like the one-on-one battle. They were running down at us, getting layups at the rim. We didn't get guys back behind the ball. And they just seemed we were walking it up, playing a half-court game, and weren't doing what we do best, which is run. And to run, we got to get stops, and we just didn't get them. It felt like the other way around. It felt like they were getting stops and then running it down our throats. So that really set the tone for them in that second quarter. They got a big buffer going in the second half, and then, you know, the fellas, we fought. That's great, but as professionals, we need to be better than that, and we need to take a little bit more pride in the one-on-one containment.
And taking that little bit of a positive spin again, I know both of you are hugely disappointed in the performance. Compared to last year, Coach, where you had 2 games away, you had to basically bring it back from away from home. Does it make a difference that you've got one more back here on Tuesday if you require it?
It's one game at a time. I'm just really, I don't care where we play. I just, and what the result is really, it's how we play. And, you know, we've done a really, some really good things this second half of the season to be proud of. And I just want to, and I know the group does want to put that display on. They're a very good basketball team. They're going to be tough, and they're going to be tough there. But I just want to play better basketball all the way around, defensively and offensively, than we did tonight. And I know the group does. Everybody here is hurting. One game.
That's all from me, guys.
Isaiah.
Hi, George. The Kings had 46 points in the paint tonight. How do you address that and fix that going into Sunday?
Well, I don't know that I didn't, the stat that when you say in the paint, I just thought they beat us. The other guys got involved in transition. We talked about getting bodies behind the ball, and we ended up playing in the half court. They ended up running the ball down our throat. And but I didn't think they got the ball into the block and hurt us down there. I mean, holding, a guy like Cooks to 11, holding Martin to 4. When you say paint baskets, Jalen Adams, on the rim, dribble penetration on the rim. And that is what I talked about when we first came in, walling up and protecting the paint and taking away dribble penetration. And that was really disappointing. And the guy that really hit us hard in that area and won the game in the last 4 or 5 possessions was Jalen Adams. And that matchup is huge, and we haven't had a lot of it over the 4 games that we've played. I think we've played him once. So we learned a little bit tonight. We talked about it, but talk's cheap, and we got to keep him off the rim.
Good. What was the message to the guys at halftime?
Well, I think we talked about the defensive end of the floor and cutting the lead to 10 at the 6-minute mark, and just really went away from structure. Just get stops, push the ball, pick the ball, get the ball side to side, and then just the only way we're going to get back into this game is if we get stops. And I thought we did a pretty decent job. It's just we ran out of legs and got fatigued. And going into this next one, how hard we went, I think the bench is going to be really huge coming into game 2.
What can the bench do differently than given you were disappointed with how those guys played that second quarter?
Well, I just didn't think they gave us a lift in those areas of concern. As Tim said, getting behind the ball, controlling the ball. They got a lot of energy off their bench defensively, on the glass, running the floor. We didn't. And we need that. We need that. It's not just them, but they can't go unscathed in this. They're an important piece, and I elected not to go back there because the second quarter was 30-9, and use the timeouts, stay with that 6 or 7, but you could see that's not going to get it done. 4 minutes to go, we were on our blades. So it's going to fall on that group of 9, not just 5 or 6 going into this game 3. But there was a lot of disappointment, as I said, but that side of it was extremely disappointing. And that second quarter, 30-9, and we entered those guys in the middle of the first, and we had, I thought, a pretty good lead early in the first, and then it went away from us at the end and then we started moving bodies early in the second, and they blew it out in the second. So there's some problems there that need to be solved for game 2.
You obviously sort of could tell that the guys are pretty cooked when you cut it to 3 minutes ago. Did you think that you were going to run over the top of the Kings?
I never felt like we were going to run over the top, but I thought we gave ourselves a chance, and which was, you look up there, I think we cut that thing to 3 or 6, and was it 3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and where they got Xavier hit a jumper in the middle of the paint, and they threw the ball the length of the floor to Maker, and he got a layup. And that says a little bit about the whole night. You know, that's what they're great at. You score or you miss, and they run the ball down our throat. And for the game, that play breaks your heart. You make a basket and you get right back in the game. They step out of bounds, throw it the length of the court, and lay it in. And those things that needed to we needed to get done to win, we never got done. And as I said, the end of the game, I thought fatigue was a factor. And, that's where you draw to the bench.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Anyone else got questions? That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.